Okay, I've got here a list of 13 sapphic soaps and telenovela storylines whose ending won't break your heart, because sometimes you just need to know that they'll make it out okay. I've also linked to playlists for each one in the description. Las Estrellas, an Argentinian telenovela, was getting international attention in 2017 for the pairing of Flosmen. When Jazim comes to work as a chef at the Estrellas hotel, she bumps into Flor, one of the sisters who is co-running the hotel following the death of her father. Flor is in a relationship at the time and somewhat oblivious to Jazim's growing feelings, but when those feelings come out, it sends her into a tailspin as she grapples with how she feels. Obviously, as this show is on the list, how she feels is very gay, but there is a sizable amount of gay panic attached to that realization, and so we are treated to a runaway bride trope with plenty of big emotions and angst to accompany it. But I would argue it's largely good angst, and the relationship that flourishes in the wake of that drama, along with some steamier moments, made this somewhat of a crowd pleaser, which had a few of you asking why it wasn't on my top 10 soap and telenovela lists from a while back. Best of all, it has a happy ending. Another Spanish-speaking telenovela, this one set in the old times, that delivers a happy ending was Acacias 38 with the Maite ship. Camino, daughter of the local restaurateur, has a passion for drawing. When she meets Maite, a bohemian artist recently come from Paris, she convinces her strict mother to allow her to take painting lessons. What she wasn't expecting was to fall for her teacher. Yes, indeed, this is a teacher-student age gap story that I know some of you will love. While Maite tries to resist the attraction, they ultimately give in to their passion, but it's not long before they are discovered. It leads to an annoying, compulsive heterosexuality storyline alongside other drama and, of course, an obligatory helping of angst. While for a moment it seems like all is lost, the two ladies ultimately make it out together and head for Paris. You can even catch up to what happens after they leave the show in the audio drama Maitino en Paris, which can be found on YouTube. This long-running German soap gave us a sapphic storyline in 2009 when Juliette, a French chocolate maker, comes to town. She strikes up a business partnership with Kerstin, the owner of the local bakery, to sell her chocolates there. But things start out rocky between the women due to Juliette's somewhat infuriating approach to selling. When that approach proves to work, however, a friendship begins to grow and is kicked into high gear when Juliette literally licks praline filling off Kerstin's finger. Let's just say that the power of chocolate works its sweet, decadent magic, and Kerstin's head is more than a little turned. The storyline is clearly heavily influenced by the 2000 film Chocolate, with the way it looks to mythologize the magical power of chocolate and its spices. Compared to the sapphic Spanish-speaking entries on this list, it's a comparatively calm and easy storyline without massive stakes. It's largely about chocolate and some gay panic, and sometimes that is exactly the ticket. Once they get together, they don't hang around for long because they're heading off to France. While the long-running German soap Verbotene Liebe had a few woman-love-woman storylines on its show, most famously with its ill-fated ship Marbecca, prior to that there was Carla. After a few failed relationships that ended in death and divorce, she meets Stella. After an initial bumpy start, Carla develops feelings for her, but Stella's head is turned with socialite Charlie, and it takes a bit longer to figure out that she returns those feelings too. It's not my favourite of the woman-love-woman soap storylines, not even my favourite for Carla. I do have a soft spot for Carla and Hannah, even if that ending featured a dead lesbian. But it ends with them jetting off together. Greta, a lawyer on the Argentinian show El Elegido, also had a tempestuous love life prior to meeting client Pamola, when Gigi ended up getting pregnant to some guy. Still caught up in those dynamics, when she meets Pamola, things evolve quickly, and I'm talking U-Haul quick, into the kind of stable relationship that she's been craving, and it sees them last until the end of the show. Again, not my fave woman-love-woman soap outing, but some of you have mentioned it in the comments before. These are by no means the only soaps or telenovelas with happy endings. I've mentioned the following in other videos before, so I'll talk about them only briefly here. When Marina, a renowned photographer, comes to Brazil, she is immediately smitten with housewife Clara. It's not one-sided, but with a sick husband and a child, things are complicated. Love, however, wins out. When Valentina and Juliana meet, despite coming from very different worlds, they connect immediately. Their feelings quickly grow into love, but their love is threatened by the backdrop of their family's issues that involve souls in wrong bodies, murder, and the mafia. School teachers Mercedes and Varvara's friendship grows into love and a clandestine affair that lasts years before it's found out. Being 1950s small-town Chile, the consequences are dire, but their love ultimately overcomes the odds. Set in 1940s Spain, Ana and Teresa spend years dancing around the truth of their intense friendship that sees them dealing with marriages, miscarriages, and more until they can't deny their feelings anymore. When Luisa meets Amelia, feelings start brewing, but being 1970s Spain, their relationship is illegal. Despite initial family pushback and some conversion therapy, they ultimately ride off into the sunset together. When Olivia gets Natalia's deceased husband's heart, a man who she had been pursuing, things between the women are rocky, but Natalia is determined to keep Olivia alive. As they deal with the grief of their loss, they discover in each other the love of each other's lives. Jade falls in love with Altea at first sight, but coming from a conservative Filipino family, their relationship cannot be tolerated, leading to suicide attempts, kidnapping, and forced marriage. Dramatic doesn't begin to cover it, but they do get a happy ending. Set in an apartment building in Mexico, neighbor Patricia moves in with Lucia when her marriage breaks down. Their friendship becomes more, but with Lucia mourning the death of her husband and a troubled teen, it's unclear if their relationship will last. Spoiler, it does. That's the list. I'm sure there are other soaps and telenovelas that have given us happy endings, so let me know in the comments so I can squirrel that information away for another day. In the meantime, why not check out the videos on the screen, and until next time, lady lovers.